Just 3 months after the Sri Lankan government declared the country liberated from the Tamil Tigers, video footage has emerged apparently showing government troops summarily executing Tamils. Journalists for Democracy in Sri Lanka, which obtained the material, said it was filmed in January, when the international media were prevented by the Sri Lankan government from covering the conflict zone. Tonight, the Sri Lankan High Commission denied the government had carried out atrocities against the Tamil community. The Sri Lankan government launched a large-scale military offensive in January, capturing the Tamil Tiger-held town of Kilinochchi. The army then steadily pushed the rebels into a small area of the northeast. Please be warned, there are extremely disturbing scenes in this report from our Foreign Affairs correspondent, Jonathan Miller.
Sri Lanka's Sinhalese majority, the end of 26 years of war was something to celebrate. The rebel Tamil Tiger army vanquished. It had been a brutal war, upwards of 80,000 dead, soldiers and civilians, Sinhalese and Tamil, traumatized and brutalized by what they'd all been through. By January this year, government forces were closing in on a shrinking conflict zone. Unknown thousands of Tamil civilians were being killed. But independent journalists and observers were prevented from getting anywhere close. There were rumours that terrible things were happening, but this was a war without witnesses. Or at least we thought so. One soldier, we now know, had a mobile phone. And today, 8 months on, his footage has emerged. A naked man, blindfolded and bound. His last human contact, a kick in the head. It's like he jumped, a soldier laughs. His Sinhalese accent, country boy. His tone, casual, like this was a game. As further gunshots ring out, the camera pans to reveal other bound bodies, 8 in total, and all but one naked. There is no indication of the ethnicity of the dead men, but the group which obtained the pictures claim the victims are Tamils. The killers are speaking Sinhala. They are wearing what appear to be Sri Lankan army uniforms. It's impossible to independently verify the authenticity of the pictures of this bloodbath. But the group of exiled Sri Lankan journalists which passed them to Channel 4 News are not a Tamil liberation group. They campaign for press freedom. Now, the existence of footage like this has been rumoured for months. It's taken 8 months for it to come out, and it was only smuggled out of Sri Lanka in the past couple of days. An independent Sri Lankan human rights investigator, a Sinhalese, who's watched the pictures with me this evening, believes them to be genuine. Towards the end of the video, a 9th man is shot dead. Extrajudicial killings by government soldiers and paramilitaries have been documented in Sri Lanka for years, but there's never been evidence like this. 280,000 Tamils remain incarcerated in camps for displaced people. The government says it needs to screen the civilian population for suspected Tamil Tiger militants. 3 months ago, Sri Lanka's victorious president, Mahinda Rajapaksa, promised equal rights to Tamils and said they'd be protected. If the killing field footage is authenticated, it'll do little to reassure Tamil civilians.
That report from Jonathan Miller. We asked for an interview with the Sri Lankan High Commission, but no one was available. Instead, they sent us this statement. The High Commission of Sri Lanka categorically deny that the Sri Lankan armed forces engaged in atrocities against the Sri Lankan Tamil community. They were only engaged in a military offensive against the LTTE. You can read the full statement on the Channel 4 News website.